Far beyond the lands of men, in a world of endless ice and snow, there was a kingdom untouched by time. It was a place where the sky shimmered with colors of blue and violet, where the glaciers stood like towering guardians of a frozen world. This was the Arctic, a land of beauty, but also of great peril. In the heart of this frozen paradise lived a small yet courageous creature, a baby penguin no taller than a puffin, with soft, fluffy feathers, a blue cap atop its head, and a warm beige scarf wrapped around its tiny neck. He was different from the others. While most penguins stayed near their nesting grounds, this one had always felt a pull, a call from the unknown. One fateful night, as the wind howled louder than ever, the baby penguin peered out of his snowy burrow. Something was wrong. The stars, which once danced so brightly in the sky, were fading. The moon, once silver and full, was now veiled by dark, swirling clouds. The land was growing colder, colder than it had ever been before. He waddled through the snow, his tiny feet sinking into the ice, until he reached the shore. There, in the distance, Iceheart Mountain loomed. An ancient legend whispered among the Arctic creatures spoke of a power hidden deep within the mountain's frozen core. A fire crystal, burning with warmth, capable of restoring balance to the land. But no creature had dared venture there, for Iceheart Mountain was guarded by forces unknown. That night, as the winds howled and the snow fell in thick blankets, the baby penguin made a choice. He could stay in his burrow, like the others, or he could follow the call of destiny. And so, with nothing but his small brown backpack and a heart full of courage, he stepped into the storm. The journey was not meant to be easy. As the blizzard raged on, the baby penguin could barely see a few feet ahead. Ice cracked beneath his feet, and shadows lurked in the distance. But he pressed forward, knowing that if he did not, his home and every creature in the Arctic would be lost to the freezing darkness. Then, just as hope began to fade, a faint cry echoed through the storm, a sound of distress. The baby penguin stopped, his little heart pounding. He followed the sound, weaving through jagged ice formations until he reached a frozen lake. And there, trapped beneath the ice, was a tiny baby seal, its wide eyes filled with fear. The penguin knew he had to act fast. With all his strength, he pecked at the ice, his beak hitting hard against the frozen surface. But it was too thick. He needed help. He turned and hurried back toward the Arctic cliffs, where an old friend lived, a small, snow-white kitten, known for its sharp claws and quick mind. The kitten had never left its burrow before, afraid of the dangers that lurked in the wild. But when the baby penguin arrived, breathless and desperate, the kitten did not hesitate. Together, they returned to the lake, and with one swift motion, the kitten's sharp claws carved through the ice, creating a crack just wide enough. The baby penguin jumped, his weight breaking the ice, and in an instant, the baby seal was free. Grateful, the seal nuzzled its rescuers, its eyes filled with gratitude. "You saved me," it whispered. And from that moment on, the three became inseparable. For the journey ahead would require more than just courage. It would require friendship, trust, and the belief that even the smallest creatures could change the fate of the world. But time was running out. The Arctic winds grew fiercer. Icebergs, once sturdy, began to shatter and drift apart. The ancient walrus, the wisest being of the north, watched from his frozen cave, his deep eyes filled with sorrow. He had seen the signs. The balance was crumbling. And so, when the baby penguin and his companions arrived, he did not turn them away. The walrus spoke of Iceheart Mountain, of the fire crystal hidden within, and of the darkness that sought to claim it. He warned them of the challenges ahead, the frozen canyon that no creature had ever crossed, the ice wolves that guarded the mountain's base, and the storm that would test even the bravest hearts. "Are you afraid?" the walrus asked. The baby penguin looked at his friends. the kitten standing tall beside him, the baby seal trembling but determined. And then he shook his head. Number, I am ready. With the map of the frozen land etched in his mind, the baby penguin took his first steps toward the greatest challenge of his life. The wind howled, the stars flickered, and in the distance, the peak of Iceheart Mountain glowed with an eerie light. The battle for the Arctic's survival had begun. Not all who are small are weak. Not all who are lost remain so forever. And sometimes, even a baby penguin can become a legend.